back at it again, and we've got one here with campus reform. Shout out to campus reform. Major salute to them and everything that they do out here on these college campuses, because I think it is majorly important. And I love what Trump said in his speech that we checked out yesterday. But let's jump into the video before I get into more of that. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Make sure you are following me on social media too. And let's dive in.
When you hear the word socialism, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Equality.
Oh my goodness.
Probably
What
not
the-
something positive based off of history classes that we've had and the way it's taught, but redistributing wealth definitely sounds more positive.
I really have no issues
What?
with socialism.
Hold on, I could have sworn she said
Off of history classes.
Equality.
nothing positive.
Probably not something positive based off of
Okay, so not something positive, but
history
then she
classes
said,
that we've had and the way it's taught, but redistributing wealth definitely sounds more positive.
I really have no issues with socialism. I'm a socialist myself and think it's kind of the only way we're going to get anything close to real social reform in this country.
I am from Russia, a former Soviet country. I feel people don't really have a perspective on socialism in America like people have everywhere in the world because of how it was presented.
yes, thank you. Bing, 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 bing. These teachers have intentionally convinced these students that socialism is good. In reality, it isn't. And the rest of the world knows it. But everybody here, because we live in our own American box, they have no clue. Zero clue. And my question to all of these folks who talk about the redistribution of wealth, how in the hell do you think you're about to take this money away from them? What you gonna march up to their house with, your hands and fists? Because these are the same folks, these folks that want socialism, they're the same folks who don't like the Second Amendment. So none of them have any weapons. None of them have the great equalizer. So what are you gonna do? All these rich billionaires and elitists, they got money to pay armed security. It's a lot of people in this world that'll do something strange for a little piece of change. And these elitists that you want to go after, that you want to have redistribute their wealth, they could pay a whole lot of people a little bit of change to do something strange. So as soon as you walk onto that property, bang. So exactly, again, like how do you plan on redistributing wealth? Exactly. You can't. It's not happening. I rest my case.
I haven't seen it working anywhere in favor of people as well, where their freedoms and human rights are respected.
I generally think it's a good thing, especially when we're considering how this ties into racial factors as well. I think it's important to understand how the redistribution of wealth can be seen as a way to ameliorate histories of racial hierarchy.
I think there are some good things in thinking about leveling out different inequalities. I think about questions about choice, like what choice people have in different decisions from systematic levels.
I certainly see it as a good thing. I guess this might be cheesy to say, but I would say some level of equality.
So how would you define socialism?
I'm honestly not that familiar with the term.
What?
I feel like I'm not as informed on the problem as I'd like to be, but I would say that capitalism is kind of the driver for a lot of the problems that we have in America, yeah.
Giving
Oh, is it really? Is it really? Do you even know what capitalism truly is? Huh? I would love to ask that question. I bet you couldn't answer, but on top of that, how do you know socialism is the answer if you don't even know what socialism actually is? And that's like a recurring theme with these folks. They try to push something and have no clue exactly what it is that they are pushing. They have been told something and they try to repeat what they have been told. And when they're asked to go off the script, to not just regurgitate what they've been told, they can't, because they don't know anything. And that is a failure of our schooling system, and it needs to be overhauled yesterday. Yesterday. These teachers are terrible. They are garbage, trash. Not every teacher. There are some fantastic teachers out there. I've seen some of you in the comments section. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I shouldn't say all teachers. Okay? Let's acknowledge the good teachers out there. Okay? Make no mistake about it. I've had some great teachers myself. Shout out to all of them. But there are some horrible ones. And this is the result. Let's jump back in.
Workers, the means to production. To be honest, my understanding of it is not as amazing as I would like it to be.
It's the redistribution of wealth as a means to achieve a better society.
Socialism is the workers being their own bosses.
The economic theory that the means of production, the money people make, the private property they own, should be taken and redistributed equally. That's an idea that you lean towards.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends how you do it. A lot of people consider private property to be something they have a right to, when it's really not something that's so fundamental to who we are. It's particularly just capital.
If you're making $10 million a year, I think it's fair to tax at a very high rate because you are already so rich.
I would not be opposed to the government doing that. I think government should be actually doing that, but I just think it is a very tangible topic that should be, kind of approached from different points of view, different aspects. Everything has to be taken into consideration. There's a reason why it hasn't worked in the USSR, for example.
If you're in a class and you have an open notes test and you spend 10 hours coming up with all these pages of notes, a lot of hard work put into it.
I know where he's going with this. I know exactly where he's going with this. Watch every single one of them say no to what he's about to say. I don't know exactly how he's about to say it, but I know where he's about to go with it. He's gonna make it like, hey, you work hard and they get to benefit from your hard work. You have to share your hard work with them. Would you do it? He's going to say something along those lines. I guarantee it. Let's see.
You get to class and no one else is taking notes for the test, and the professor looks at you and says, you have to give 10 out of your 15 pages, hand them out to your other classmates, and then you don't have all of your notes. Do you think that that's fair?
Yeah, I'd be pretty frustrated. Yeah.
So maybe when we talk about redistributing wealth, if you got your dream job, making a six-figure salary, someone steps in and says, hey, even though you worked really hard for years and years to get this job, we're going to take the rewards that you've reaped, and they redistribute that equally. Would you be okay with that?
Well, when it's presented that way, it certainly sounds worse.
Because that's exactly what you're trying to advocate for. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Do these videos kind of frustrate y'all when y'all see them? Let me know. I get a little frustrated.
Makes you think about it a little differently.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're in a group project with 3 other people, so there's 4 of you, and you do all the work, the project gets a perfect score, but since you guys are all in the same group, the professor takes part of your score and gives it out to the other people who didn't do any of the work. Would that be fair?
From an individual perspective, no.
No, I wouldn't think that's fair.
I wouldn't think that was fair, but I think that would be a poor analogy to describe the economic state as it is. I don't think that's how things actually operate.
We're not looking for the government to just radically make decisions without looking to the people. What I want to push for is for the people to push for these policies. I want people to choose.
And people like you are pushing for those policies.
These things, and so I want to elect representatives who will pass these socialist policies.
You want people to choose to elect someone to choose to take away their private property rights?
No, it's just taxes, not private property right.
Well, money is property.
Well, if you consider a tax a violation of private property rights, then sure.
The hypocrisy is crazy, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. No, actually, now that I think about it, I don't like that. I don't agree with that. But, oh my goodness. And I would love to ask them, where have you seen this work? Like, beyond how do you plan on taking this from them? What if the government says no because they're part of the elitists too? What if all those folks say no? Then what? What are you gonna do? A lot of people would do something strange for a little piece of change. So even if somebody in the government doesn't have a whole lot of money already, the people who do can just pay them to say, nah, we're not gonna go redistribute any wealth from them. They're good folks, which they already do anyway. But just to let these college students who are still wet behind the ears and breath smell like Similac still, just to let them know that that's already going on. What do you think is going to happen when you try to push for a redistribution of wealth? The people who have the wealth are going to go to the politicians. Hey, wink, wink. Don't push forward this. Here's some money. Then what? And not only that, beyond that, where have you seen this work? Name a place. Oh, of course. Let me guess. We live in America, so it's different. Because Americans are so much better than everybody else that has ever graced this earth, this planet. We're the only people that have ever walked this earth that could figure out the concept of socialism. We're the only ones that could ever get it right. Guarantee you that would be their statement. We're the only ones that could ever figure it out. Yeah, we're just like a different type of human being here in America. We're just different. Well, some folks are a little different. Yeah, all seriousness. Oh man, we need a total overhaul of our schooling system. And I know I've said that time and time again, and I'm gonna keep saying it because videos like this pop up, and you're just like. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Like, share, comment. Hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.